Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Carrie if you're new here, and today's video I'm going to be sharing with you guys how I created a DIY faux brick wall for less than $10. I worked super hard on this project. It was a lot harder than I expected it to be 100% honest, but I feel like it turned out so beautiful and I'm so proud of it and so happy with it. Hold on, buddy. I cannot wait to show you guys. So, just so y'all know, the project is not complete, like 100% complete done, just because I still want to get some new decor pieces, but I also plan on doing a shiplap wall right here on this wall here, but we don't have the wood yet. We haven't had time to do it, and I gotta fix a portion of the built-in. But I wanted to go ahead and show you guys what I have completed, so that way y'all can kind of just be along in the process with me. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking and let's get right into the video. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is go through, figure out how big you want your bricks to be. Mine were 2.5 by 7 inches long, and as you can see, I'm just using a picture frame. That way I didn't have to go through and mark up the wall. This frame was exactly 7 inches long, so it worked out perfect. And that's what I did for the entire built-in area, and then in just a second you'll see how it looks once you get everything taped off. So not all of my bricks were the exact same length or exactly perfect, just because once I started to tape everything up, I realized that I'm going to be sanding it anyway and roughing it up, so you won't even be able to tell if the bricks aren't exactly even. But don't forget to tape off the areas you don't want to get tape on. Alright, so once all the brick is measured out with the tape, this is how it's going to look, and then we're going to go in with the joint compound first, which is this right here. I'm going to go ahead and start layering that on and texturizing it. Alright, so if you did not want to add the texture, you can just completely skip this part. And I actually forgot to show this little tool at the beginning and mention it in the tool supply section, but this little, I think this is called a scraper, I don't know, but you can buy it at Dollar Tree, and it's basically I'm just using it as a spatula to put this on the wall. But all you're going to do is put this joint compound on and just spread it out in whatever way. It's not you don't have to make it perfect. The whole point is just to give the brick an appearance that it has texture.
So this is how we end up, shades of blue and gray. I feel just like
Okay, so one thing that I did differently than the other videos I have seen out there on YouTube is I did not peel off the tape until I was done painting on top of this joint compound. The reason why was because I seen people paint after and have to individually paint each brick, and to me that would just be super tedious and take really long time, and I did not want to have to do that. I have kids. I got to get this done as quickly as possible. Alright, you guys, so now this compound is on this section. Oh, it looks like I missed a piece. See, that's why it's always good to have a light. So I'm going to go ahead and mix my gray paint that I'm going to be using. So I'm going to do a lot because I'm going to try to get as much of this as I can done. So I do a lot of white. Well, about that much. There's still some in here, but we'll do that first. Oops. And then we're going to pour in some gray. Now you want to pour in the gray slowly because you don't want it to be too dark. So I just start with a little bit and then I add more if I need to. So it's optional to either wait till it's completely dry, or you can kind of start painting it when it's damp. I go ahead and start painting it when it's damp just because I don't have time to sit there and wait for it to dry completely. And when I did that, it actually blended in really good with the compound, giving it almost like a tan color as well, so which worked out perfect. But as you can see, you just kind of start sponging it on there, and that's how you do it with a sponge or a paintbrush. All right, so this part right here was the hardest. If you did have a bigger sponge or a bigger flat stippling brush, or I don't know if that's what it's called, but one of those big flat paint brushes, this would go a lot quicker and be a lot easier on your hands. So keep that in mind if you do suffer from arthritis or you're older and you can't use your hands as much as I'm using them. Definitely get you a big sponge to do this, because this is like really hard on your hands. But this is how it looks once you've sponged it all on, and then this is just me pulling off the tape. This is like so satisfying. I don't know why, but when I did this, I was like, oh my gosh, like I could do this for a living. Now we are moving on to the sanding portion, and the reason why I wanted to sand mine was because I really wanted that old brick look. I didn't want everything to be completely symmetrical and perfect looking, because to me that just looks like I put fake brick on the wall. The whole point was to really, excuse me, make it look super real and just old, worn out brick. So that's what I'm doing right now, is just kind of roughing up the corners and the edges. All right, so once you sand down some of the edges a little bit, I decided to go back in with the white and add it in on some areas that I felt were a little too gray. And I also put the white on the edges to kind of make it appear to be really worn out whitewashed brick. I love the way that this ended up turning out, but this part, it was totally optional as well. Okay, so once you have sanded and added in more paint where it needs to go, then this is kind of how it will look once you get towards the end. As you can see, the bricks are not completely perfect. They're not perfectly symmetrical or anything like that. That was the look I was going for. And then in just a second, I will show you a before clip and then a before picture, so that way you could see how it looked before and then after. So I hope y'all enjoyed. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you did. And if you want to see the DIY shiplap wall, y'all let me know in the comments down below, because I'm going to try to do it as cheap and budget friendly as possible, as always. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye, y'all.